When you talk about array, your mind should always go to this notation. Oh, sorry. Now, when you're working with string, you need to include the string.h header file because most of the string functions are in the string.h header file. We already know what an header file is, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So the header file contains the functions that like the string.h header file now contains the functions that are used for string operations. So when you want to declare a string variable, mm, most of the time string variables are of type char. I think they are always of type char because they contain characters. So let's say, for example, name of this variable is s. There are different ways of initializing a string variable. I think there are 4 ways of initializing string variables. Please, you need to take note of it. There are 4 ways of initializing string variables. The first one is what? Initializing the string variable without specifying the size of the array. Initializing the string variable without specifying the size of the string array. Or initializing the string variable by initializing what? By defining the size of the array. So we can declare the variable like this. So what this tells us now, in the first one, you can type as many characters as you want to. You can insert as many characters as you want to in the array. But in the second array, you can only insert 49 characters from 0 to 49 before you get to the null character, which is the -0. So this is how a string looks like graphically.
Sorry, I didn't understand that part. Sorry.
Okay, let me go again.
Thank you.
I said that you can initialize or you can declare a string variable. You can declare a string by using what? By not specifying the size.
Okay.
You can also declare a string by specifying the size that you want it to have.
Okay.
So these are the two main um, way of declaring a string. You can also declare a string by using a macro. Or as you proceed, you know what a macro is.
Oh, okay.
So
So this 50 into bracket here is what? Sorry.
this 50 is the size of that is the number of characters this particular string can contain.
Okay.
You
So
know,
any word that exceed 50 characters would not stay there.
no, it's gonna cause an overflow, a
Oh,
memory
okay.
overflow. So, and that's not good because it will lead to corruption. For example, maybe this is a variable max and
Okay.
I assign 500 to it. It's a global variable because it can be used from anywhere in the program. So I've already
Okay.
assigned it now. Now I can come here now and say,
Um,
so what will be the size of this particular string?
Five
That's
hundred.
500.
Yeah, 500. So you can also do that too. So these are the basic ways of declaring. Now there's a difference between declaring and initializing. These are the
Yeah.
basic ways
Okay.
of declaring strings.
Okay.
If there's any questions, so we can proceed.
Thank you.
Any question?
Please, this point is a bit confusing. You
Mm,
said you can't declare more than 50 because of overflow.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you declared another one max. So if you're giving let's say the size to be more than 500, more than 500,
If
is
you
it
type
possible for
in if you type in characters that are more than 500, it's going to
yeah,
cause an overflow condition. An overflow condition arises when we want to insert new data into an array data structure, but there's no available space in that data structure. It means that there are no any empty list to store a new data, and this situation is called overflow.
okay,
So a string is an array. I just want to use string. I just want to use strings to introduce us to array. So a string is more like an array, it's basically an array, but it is an array of characters. So it doesn't deal with numbers. The only number you will see when you are working with string is the size of the string.
okay, okay.
And the size cannot be more than 50.
No, it
In
can't.
fact, 49.
Look at max now. Max is 500 now. This one is 500 now.
Yes. But instead of putting 500 there, we put max there.
Max.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I define max to be 500 here.
Okay.
If you see, I use hashtag define max to be 500.
500. Okay.
Mm.
All right.
So I could as well type it here, 500. Still the same thing. Do you
Oh,
understand
okay.
me? So
Yeah, I do.
that's it for declaration of strings. Now I want to go and talk about, I want us to have a graphical knowledge about how a string looks like in memory. This is how a string looks like in memory. If you see now, we declared the string and we initialized it with this word geeks. The word, they are usually in what? The strings are usually in double quotes. But in memory, this is what happens. Every character in the array of in this array, every character in this string occupies 1 byte. Why? Because car is of what type?
1 byte.
Yeah, it's 1 byte. So car is 1 byte. So every character in the string occupies 1 byte. This is the index number. The index number of in your memory in memory usually starts from 0. So you go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The index number is different from the address. The index number is used to know position, the positions of characters in a particular array. So this is what str looks like graphically. G is in space, E is in inner position, E against the position, K like that, like that. Then the address goes on and on and on. Do you understand, guys?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. But
Yes.
I have another
Yes.
question. Sorry.
Okay.
This char str.
Yeah, can you go back, please? Good.
Where is it? Strings. Okay.
Yeah, this char str where you declared, Abby.
Yeah,
Let's say in the brackets you put 500, would it change anything?
it will only, let me show you. That's why I want to show you guys. So
Oh, okay,
suppose,
okay, sorry.
so let's say this is memory, 1 byte, 1 byte, 1 byte,
Mr.
one
Geoffrey, the
byte,
fight man.
1 byte.
Jay, can you hear me?
1 byte. Yeah, what did you say?
We
I
can
said,
hear you.
Mr. Geoffrey, the bite man. You like this bite board, I swear.
So now let us say we declare a string
Yeah.
Yeah.
data type char.
And that's how the system sees everything, though.
Okay, sorry.
Like, I think chai is one, Abby. One bite.
Yes.
That's what I'm sure.
So let's say the arrow. Then let's say 50. Let's the arrow 50, right?
Yeah.
Then we coach to now let's say that we initialized it using a word called let's say we use the word because strings usually do not, when you are typing with strings, they don't accept white spaces. So that is, if you want to display the string that you've typed, you cannot type a white, let me open, you cannot type a white space. You can type a white space in string, but you need, there's a special function that can help you create that kind of output where there will be white spaces between the strings that you have between the characters that you have written as a string. So coming, maybe I will explain that better. So let's say we initialize it with this word number. So we initialize it with this word number. Do you understand? So now n, these are the string, this array now will look like n. Each of the character will be assigned to one particular place inside the array number. Then this place, the end, to signify the end, will be the null character. The index will look like this: 0, 1, 3, 4, 5. So this is how it will look like. I think 6. So in the situation where we assign, like in this case 50, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Memory will look like this. all the way to 50. So this place now, the last what's it called? The last part of 50 will then contain the null character. So but before 50, these spaces, there will be empty spaces after this last character arrow.
Okay.
Are you following, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
And so that is how it
Um,
will work.
okay. So sorry, what now happens if you declared, like, let's say this has contained 5, then instead of declaring 5, you declare 3 for it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
maybe
you
check.
declare 3.
As in, instead of 50, use 3 as a size.
You use, yes, as the size.
Yeah, when you use 3 as a size, it can't contain this. When you put this now, the null character will be here. So that's where the overflow condition
Happens.
will happen.
Okay.
Are we
Okay.
following, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just taking it gently
So
so that there'll be no confusion.
okay, so to be on the safer side, it's better you declare more space than less space.
Yeah, but also you
Okay.
also need to be wise by you declare because you will not want a situation where what's it called? A situation where there's just too much space. You know, it's your memory that is going anyways. So that's
Mm,
how a string looks like. So it's a tool,
okay.
it's an object. You can see it as an object because why? I can declare and initialize strings and use them anytime I want to use them. So I can declare a string is a variable that is a string and make it a global variable so that anytime I want to use it, I can just, you know, assign it to something, to whatever it is I want to use it for. So now we're going to talk about how to initialize strings. How to initialize strings. There are four major ways of initializing strings. There are four major ways of initializing strings. It is initialize string assigning, can write here, assigning a string literal without size. 2. Assigning a string literal with a predefined size. 3. Assigning character by character with size. Assigning character by character with size. Then 4. Assigning character by character without size. I come again. There are four ways to initialize a string in C. 1. Assigning a string literal without size. 2. Assigning a string literal with a predefined size. 3. Assigning character by character with size. And 4. Assigning character by character without size. So now let's go to the first one, which is assigning a string literal
Literal without size.
without size. So let us go, let us say we without size. So there's no size there. And then we assign a string to it. Let's say God is good. If you look now, there are no white spaces. I just jump packed it together. That is how it always is. But we'll get to that. We'll get to how to create white spaces in strings. Now, assigning a string literal without size, this is how you do it. There's no size to it, but then we just write our characters like that. Here we can write unlimited number of characters. There's another thing that I need to point here. the name when you are dealing with strings and arrays, the name of an array or the name of a string is actually a pointer. But it is not a pointer like in the sense of the previous pointer that we talked about, like when it will now be changing variables and all that. No, no, no. It will only contain the address of the first character. So that in this case, let's say for example, we want to check the address of the first character, which we can use as the address of the entire string.
Hmm.
I've forgotten. Do I have to put that? Hey, shit.
Wow.
I said it. I know I'm not supposed to do that. What this thing? This always confuses me. I don't use it often.
Hmm.
So you can see this is the address, right? This
Yes.
address now that you see here in your screen is the address of the first character in the string. So the pointer, the name of the variable points to the address of the first character in the string. The same thing applies to array. The name of an array points to the first element of the array. In this case, the name of the string is a pointer that points to what? G. So the address of G is what showed in the screen. So we just did it with initializing the string without the size. Let us do initializing the string with the size. Assigning the string literal with a predefined size. So we can say um, let's say 15. So we just initialize a string with a predefined size. The predefined size is 15. You can see the name of the string is quantity, QTY, and the predefined size is 15. And we initialized it using the word Armenian. Are we together?
Yeah.
So can printf say So you can see, I would love to marry a Canadian woman. That's what we did with that string. And the third way of initializing the string is assigning it character by character with size. Now we are going to the most inefficient ways of assigning assigning characters to string. Very, very inefficient. Very, very inefficient. Imagine I will say, okay, character I, for example, and this is what, let's say 10, for example, right? And then we'll start to work. Very, very inefficient. I don't advise anybody to use this kind of thing. So we'll then say, okay, if you see now, we use the braces. I will start. Sorry, because you're working with characters, starts to be a single quote. This is what you'll be doing, you know.
This one long thing.
The
Can
person go sleep there with that.
just imagine. Just go on like that. Very annoying.
This one old school.
I'm just trying to show you guys. Can you see that even this one is prone to error? But you can make a mistake now.
Yeah,
Very easy
easily.
to make mistake
So
here.
then you have to be mindful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you have not finished it. And it must, if you are doing it this way, it must reach that 10. It must reach that 10.
Wow.
But is there any reason that can warrant a compulsory use of this?
I've not seen any reason yet. My sister, we're all learners here, Alex.
Okay.
I've not seen any reason. They say maybe an hacker is trying to be very wicked. Right? I hope I've not crossed 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is where it ends. And then we'll then add the null variable, the null character. Then you close it.
Again.
Yes, now to indicate that it has reached its end. Oh, my dear, person that will do this, get strength. So, what do we open? Yeah, I think I didn't put that double quote in that place. I don't need it. So you can see Frenchy. Because now there's one thing that we need to know, that both for an array and for a string, when you declare it, you can't change the size once it's declared. Let's say maybe as you are working, but after you've run it, or you can't change size. After that, you cannot change the size during compile time. You cannot change the size during run time. Or why is it? Yeah, you can't change the size during run time. So that is when the program is running. You can't change the size. Neither can you change the size during compile time. So when you declare the size of um, of an array or a string, it is advisable you just leave it like that. The best you can do is to insert a particular element into it at a particular position. So we'll do all of that later, not now. Let's still continue to familiarize ourselves with the basics. So assigning the last one is assigning character by character without uh, without size. So I'm not going to do that because it takes taking so much time. I've almost come to the end of today's class. So this one is more like doing the same thing I did just now, but without putting the size. So you put the size and then you open your braces and then you start to put them in just like that. When you are done with that, then you so it's pretty much it. This is what to do. But in this case, you didn't put the size. So there are certain operations that we can carry on in strings. We can copy one string to another string. We can also look for the length of a particular string. We can also compare two strings. We can concatenate, that we can add two strings, and we can also print strings out with white spaces. So let's say, for example, let's finish this one first. So you can see now how it looks like, how it's working. Are you with me? Am I still in this meeting? Uh-oh.
So number of elements, that's the array, number of array element, that's the size. So I'll put inside. So I'm doing int a, then the bracket and 10. You see my array element will be 10, the size will be 10. So int a 10. Then let's say I want to, that's declaration of array for int data type.